Robert Venturi and Denise Scott Brown, the founders of postmodernism. This husband and wife duo um, basically laid the groundwork for the postmodern movement in the 20th century, late 20th century. How they did this is a very instead of a regular architectural project from these two, this was a architectural writing, and is one of their most famous projects along with their architecture. Um, in this book, along with co-author Stephen Eisenhower, the husband and wife duo published "Learning from Las Vegas: The Forgotten Symbolism Architectural Form." Um, Now, this was a knock, and they basically unlearned from modern architecture and the modernism in the 20th century. And it laid down the groundwork for the postmodern movement, and it established philosophies. They went through and analyzed Las Vegas, more specifically the Strip of Las Vegas, and they saw all the bright colors, all the misuse of shapes, and it skewed, and it was, there was all different sorts of shapes. It was eye catching, along with the misuse of classical architecture. Um, and they laid these groundworks. They laid these philosophies, as you can see here. Um, and in this one, this is one of their more recent. This was built in 1991. This is the Sainsbury wing of the London Art Gallery. Um, as you can see here, Corinthian column, and they just misused it. They had the heads of the columns, but what they didn't do is they didn't keep it the same. They used different shapes. They misused it, skewed it up, which is very interesting and unique to the postmodern philosophies, along with the openness in the bottom right here and the bright white color that just makes it the whole building eye-catching compared to the buildings around. In London, they understood the environment. In London, it's kind of dark. That's what I picture it: dark, gloomy, dark, darker brown brick buildings. And this stands out. This makes people want to go look at the art because most art is eye-catching. Here's some more of their work. This is the Children's Museum of Houston. As you can see, bright colors, really vibrant structure, and it has a very postmodern misuse of classical architecture here, as it is more traditional than the Sainsbury wing that we just looked at, um, and as it supports a regular entablature. Um, Instead of the Corinthian carve-outs, they use colors, which is very unique, which I think is one of my favorite parts of the building. It's very eye-catching. Along with down in the right here, you can't really see it because of my face cam, but those are actually like children smiling, kind of like doing a jumping jack form, holding up a pavilion, which I think is a very unique. Um, it's a very eye-catching way to use shapes, and it is very unique to this building, very unique to um, Robert Venturi and Denise Scott Brown, as they understood the environment, the landscape that in which they were to build for. As that you can see, there's a glass room right here, along with some misuse of shapes. But ultimately, the biggest thing that stands out is the bright colors and the classical misuse, the misuse of classical architecture in this building. This is probably one of their most famous architectural projects. This is the Venturi house. Um, this house was actually built for Robert Venturi's mother in 1964. So this was before their book. But he later went on to say that, as you can see, this little gap, and it's very symmetrical, big scale, has an openness to it, uses a greenish finish to the exterior of the house. But like it says, bright colors, and bright colors in postmodernism don't always mean bright, vibrant colors. It just has to catch the eye, which is cool. But Venturi later went on to say that this represents the jump from social realms, as it kind of represents the jump from the modern movement to the postmodern movement. So overall, Denise Scott Brown and Robert Venturi, the pioneers of postmodern architecture, and they're still talked about and viewed historically today.